Jai Sri Krishna. This session is continuation of our study of chapter 18 of the Bhagavad Gita. So, in the previous session, we studied 11 verses, the first 11 verses of chapter 18, where Lord Krishna talks about sannyas and tyag, renunciation and relinquishment. So he clarifies what is the actual sannyas, renunciation. So renunciation is not about giving up your worldly activities. Okay. So the real renunciation is giving up the expectation of the specific outcome or result because of the action that you are performing, because of the duty that you are performing. So that is the real meaning of renunciation. So this session is continuation of the same. So let's start the recitation, and then we will reflect on the meaning and significance of these as we move forward. So, Om Sri Bhagwan Vach अनिष्टम इष्टम मिश्रम च त्रिविधं कर्मणः फलम् भवति त्यागिनां प्रेत्य न तु सन्यासिनां क्वचित्. So the result of action, favorable, unfavorable, or mixture of these two, affect only those who have attachment to the action that they are performing, who have attachment to the outcome which may be due to the action or duty being performed. However, those who have truly renounced attachment to results, the outcome of the action doesn't accrue to them. It doesn't cause any impact on them, neither in present nor in the future. So the true renouncer, the true sannyasi, transcends the binding effects of karma. A true sannyasi transcends the binding effect of karma, thereby achieving freedom and equanimity in all situations. Then Lord Krishna further says, Panchaitani mahabaho karanani nibodhami Sankhye kritante proktani siddhaye sarva karmanam adhishtanam tatha karta karanam cha prithag vidham vividhascha prithag cheshta daivam chaivatra panchamam sharirvang manobhir yat karma prarabdhe narah न्यायं वा विपरीतं वा पंचैते तस्य हेतवः. Lord Krishna explains that every action is accomplished through the interplay of 5 factors. So these factors are: first, body, that is the foundation of action. Body is like a tool. Then the doer. Doer is individual consciousness or ego. The senses, instruments of perception and action. So Gyanendriya as well as Karmendriya. So sense here is, it encompasses both sense of perception and the organs which we use to do something. For example, hand, leg. So these are called Karmendriya. And then effort. This is the third factor. So first factor is our whole body. Doer, that is individual consciousness or ego. Then senses, the instruments of perception and action, Gyanendriya and Karmendriya. And then effort, physical or mental exertion. And then divine will, higher cosmic influence. So this is described in the Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya philosophy is analytical philosophy, where Our Munis have thought over various subjects, eh, and come to some conclusion based on analysis, observation, and all. So any action that is performed by body, mind, or a speech, whether righteous or unrighteous, is the result of five factors working in unison. This understanding highlights the interconnected nature of action and its underlying forces. Lord Krishna further says, Tatraivam sati kartaram atmanam kevalam tu yah pashyati krit buddhitvat na sa pashyati durmatihi यस्य नाहं कृतो भावो बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते हत्वापि स इमां लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते. One who considers themselves to be the sole doer and the sole cause for the accomplishment of an action is of limited understanding. They don't believe in the divine factor. They don't believe in the divinity that is regulating or impacting the outcome of an action accomplished. Such persons have limited understanding and are deluded by ignorance. Such people do not have comprehensive view of the way a task is accomplished. In contrast, one who performs actions without a sense of doership, recognizing the interconnected forces at play, remains unaffected by the effects of karma. Multiple factors are there which makes something happen, which makes some accomplishment of the task. Such people, even if they perform actions which is as grave as taking a life, are unaffected by the impact of karma. Okay, such person acts in alignment with duty. Okay, so how they are unaffected? Because of the karma that they do, even if it is murder. Okay, like a soldier. Soldiers murders, those on the enemy side. Okay, but he very well understands that he is following the order. It's not he who is doing this, but it is his duty to fight the battle. Okay, so such a person acts in alignment with duty and without attachment, and thereby transcend the binding consequences of their actions. Lord Krishna clarifies this. So the understanding that I am doing this, it's a lower understanding. Multiple factors are there, 5 factors which Lord Krishna talked about. Influence the accomplishment of a task. He further says, Jnanam jneyam parigyata trividha karma chodhana karanam karma karateti trividha karma sangraha jnanam karma cha karta cha tridhaiva gun bheditah प्रोच्यते गुण सांख्याने यथावच्छिणुतान्यपि सर्वभूतेषु येनैकं भावम् अव्ययमीक्षते अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम्. Lord Krishna explains the dynamics of action and factors influencing it in these 3 verses. So what are the factors that prompt action? It is knowledge. You know something is to be done. The object of knowledge, what needs to be done, and the knower, that is the ego, or individual consciousness, are the three elements that inspire action. Together, they form the basis for initiating an activity. And then the constituents of action, the senses, instrument of action, the activity itself, the effort, that is effort, and the doer. Okay, the individual performing the action are the essential components of an action. Now, there is classification based on gunas. So, knowledge also will be of different types to an individual, depending on which dominant guna he had, whether he is satoguni, rajoguni, or tamoguni. Okay, so the knowledge, the quality of knowledge, the understanding differs from people to people depending on the guna that they are, uh, they have dominant, the guna which is dominant in them. So knowledge, action, and the doer are classified into three categories: Sattvic knowledge, Sattvic action, Sattvic doer. Similarly, Rajasic knowledge, Rajasic action, Rajasic doer. So knowledge, action, and doer are also of three types, depending on the three gunas: Satogun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. The mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. Okay. Then Lord Krishna talks about the Sattvic knowledge. What is Sattvic knowledge? Okay, so the knowledge is considered Sattvic. It's related to goodness. When an individual perceives the same divinity, the reason for life, in all living beings. So this understanding emphasizes unity, harmony, and interconnectedness of all existence, reflecting a higher spiritual awareness. So this is what a spiritual awareness is. Once you are spiritually awakened, you stop distinguishing individuals. Everyone starts looking, the reflection of the same divine force. Okay, this is what the spiritual awareness is. पृथ्त्वेन तु यज्ञानं नाना भावान् पृथग् विधान् वेत्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसम्. Now he talked about Sattvic knowledge. Now he is talking about Rajasic knowledge. So one who perceives each living being as an independent and separate spiritual entity, disconnected from universal consciousness, the ultimate divinity, possesses knowledge in the mode of passion. Okay. So what is the outcome of this understanding? People become selfish. He is separate, I am separate. So selfishness arises, and selfishness causes misery, cycle of birth and death. Lord Krishna further says, यत्तु कृत्सन्वदेकस्मिन् कार्ये सक्तम् अहैतुकम् अतत्त्वार्थवदल्पं च तत्तामसम् उदाहृतम् नियतं संग्रहितम् अरागद्वेषितः कृतम् अफलप्रेप्सुना कर्म यत् तत् सात्विकम् उच्यते. Now, addressing Tamasic knowledge. So we saw Sattvic knowledge, we saw Rajasic knowledge. Now, Tamasic knowledge. Lord Krishna explains that a person who fixates on a single aspect of activity, mistaking it for entirety, without a true understanding of the reality or a broader perspective, is said to possess knowledge in the mode of ignorance. So such knowledge is tamasic knowledge. So their narrow and fragmented outlook lacks depth and fails to grasp the interconnected nature of existence. The example is, a person is running a business and he is concerned only about profit, disregarding ethical practices, employee welfare, and environmental impact. This narrow focus on profit at the expense of other responsibilities represents tamasic knowledge, because the person sees financial gain as the sole purpose of the business, ignoring its broader role in society. Their actions may exploit employees, degrade the environment, or harm the community, showing a lack of understanding of interconnectedness. They fail to see the long-term consequences of their actions, such as loss of trust or reputation. So this is the tamasic knowledge, tamasic understanding of things. So an action that is performed on the contrary, an action that is performed in a regulated manner, in disciplined manner, free from attachment, personal like or dislike, and without any expectation of a specific result or outcome, is considered to be in the mode of goodness, that is sattva. So this is again sattvic knowledge. So Lord Krishna is contrasting, different knowledge, so that we have clear understanding of the kinds of knowledge, and which will benefit us, which will free us from the pain and misery. So sattvic, those who have sattvic knowledge, their selfless and disciplined approach aligns with higher principles and fosters a spiritual growth. Then Lord Krishna further says, Yat tu kamepsuna karma sahankareण va punah kriyate bahulayasam tad rajasam udahritam anubandham chayam hinsam anpeksh cha paurusham moha mohad arabhyate karma yat tat tamasam uchyate. An action that is performed out of desire, sensual desire, physical desire, with a strong sense of doership, accompanied by intense effort and driven by attachment to outcome, is considered to be in the mode of rajas. Now here, Lord Krishna is talking about the kind of action. What kind of action will be performed by different types of people. So this action, someone who is performing, is of Rajasic nature. He is in the mode of passion. Such actions are fueled by personal ambition and are heavily focused on achieving specific results. In contrast, an action performed in illusion, one that leads to future bondage, causes harm or destruction, is carried out without consideration of its consequences, and is executed with a harsh and reckless attitude, is said to be done in the mode of ignorance, tamas. Okay, so this type of action reflects delusion and neglect of ethical and spiritual principle. So here Lord Krishna, in this session, we shared his wisdom with regard to what are the factors which result in accomplishment of action. Okay. From knowledge perspective, what are different kinds of knowledge possessed by people with different gunas? Okay. Then we talked about the kind of actions also which are performed by people with different gunas. So we will delve more into the wisdom which is there in chapter 18 in our upcoming session. So keep watching. Thank you very much.